You're welcome.
Oh my goodness.
Can
Well, I
I
am so
Can
glad.
I give the group
Oh,
a heads up? I'm multitasking this morning, but I will be listening.
perfect. Do you
My kiddo has a hockey tournament in Kenai, and so we're headed to Kenai.
fun?
And drive through all of the snow in Anchorage and up in the
Yeah.
mountains. I heard Kenai has a bunch of snow too, but I don't know.
That pass is always a little iffy. So drive safely.
Are you guys the 10U state tournament?
Yes.
Good luck. We have 2 teams from Fairbanks going too.
Oh, awesome. Yay. Yeah.
That's
excited.
very
Our
exciting.
hockey moms
know.
together. Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, perfect, Veronica. I'm so glad you're here too. Yes, multitask as you all need to. I know it's a busy season. Oh my gosh. Going into the spring, like from here on out, it is wild. I don't know if anybody else's calendars looks like, can I even sleep in my own bed because I'm traveling so often? How many meetings do I have every single day? Like, how many events are we going to? It is wild and crazy. So I appreciate you all being here. Yeah. Hi, buddy. Colleen's son. Well, let's start with some community updates. Colleen, while you're parked, do you want to start with a community update?
Yeah, I can certainly.
Perfect.
Let me just pull up my graphics here because my memory is atrocious.
Oh, I'll put them in the chat too. Thank you. I was gonna.
Let me pull up the email that has all of my slides in it.
Just a heads up too, we're doing child find in 20 minutes, so Jeannie will probably drop out, and if I have to get pulled, I'll drop out too, but I'm gonna try to stay on.
Okay, if you wanted to go next, Annie, that would be perfect.
Or if she wants to go first.
No,
Yeah,
go
Annie,
ahead.
you guys want to go?
Go ahead, Colleen.
Okay.
I'm gonna be on. I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm planning on being
Perfect.
Okay, let me. Okay, here it is. Yeah, my name is Colleen Andrews. I'm with Rock Matsu. I'm the project coordinator. So April is Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month, and Rock Matsu. Sorry, sorry, you guys. I'm on a Zoom call. Just can we get along for 5 minutes? Yeah, so Rock Matsu is doing a number of different events in April. We're reps Christopher. Oh no.
Scoot over.
We're oh my goodness.
We've all been there. Yep.
So we're wrapping up the 1 Minute Story project, and that has been a lot of fun. So we're highlighting voices of lived experience. We interviewed people and they told stories about one person that made a positive impact in their life, whether in their childhood or as an adult. So we're looking to roll that out in April. I got a sneak peek yesterday and I like how it looks, so I'm excited for that. Also, we are doing a Parent Nation book club. So that's going to start April 3rd and it's going to run every Wednesday throughout April, and it'll wrap up the first week of May. And then Rock Matsu is doing a community baby shower April 12th from 11 to 1. And we're partnering with CCS on that one. And then I think it's the first Friday in May. I think it's May 2nd. We're doing a community connection carnival. This is going to be our second time hosting a community carnival. The first one went really well. We had about over 400 people attend last year. And so looking to, increase those numbers this year. And then we'll be doing a social media campaign throughout April. And per usual, we're doing PACES training, raising resilience trainings, darkness to light, and we will do a braided stories training as well. And that's all I got.
You guys are so incredibly busy and so many good things. I
Yeah.
don't know if anybody's able to participate in our A2P2 monthly partnership meeting, but we hosted one last Friday out in the Valley, and Colleen was one of our presenters. And it was so cool to see. Well, one, I love the Matsu Valley because everybody supports each other so well out there. They're just each other's champions. It's so cool to be able to be out there and just see how as a community they really do support one another. And so Colleen's talking about all this stuff happening at Rock Matsu, and I just gave her a little shout out of all the impact that the baby shower has been making across the state and nationally, and everybody in the room was just so thrilled, and we're like, this is so cool, I can't believe that's happening in our neighborhood. Good job, Colleen. And so everyone was asking for the PowerPoint because Rock Matsu has so many incredible activities that they're putting on that really cater to the community, and like they're just incredible events. So great work, Colleen. You got a lot of people celebrating you and supporting you, and we know it's a busy time period coming up. So however we can support as the ECN, please let us know.
I fully appreciate that. Thank you.
Perfect. Yes. All right, Annie and Jeannie. Dillingham.
Go ahead, Jeannie, since you got to drop out and start.
Okay, well, we've been incredibly busy for a lot of reasons. We've been putting out a lot of fires, but as far as activities go, we are getting ready for our biggest young children's fair on Saturday in Dillingham. And it's a great event because we have lots of partners to do that with. So it's fun. We've had and Stone Soup Group is coming out. Hopefully they make it, Rianne. I know that.
It's got to. It's got to.
I know you had bad memories of trying to get here.
Listen, that was all okay. I fully expect it. Shannon gave me the heads up. I've also done a lot of road travel, but one day, I'm telling you, I'm going to get to Dillingham.
Yeah, you will.
Got to make it.
And we were also able to have a great event during Beaver Roundup, which is Dillingham's form of fur rendezvous. And we did a little activity here at Head Start with arts and crafts projects. And we had a little cakewalk, and we had and it was great. It was part of the Beaver Roundup, and I think it'll grow, if we continue to do it. They did it last year, and we were able to pull it off this year. We had tons of door prizes, and it was pretty cool, I think. So we've done a good job of keeping that kind of stuff on hand. So we're just ready to roll with the Young Children's Fair. And we did get our we're trying to do more infant stuff. We're kind of jealous of that whole baby shower idea that Matsu does. We did order little onesies with our label on them. So we'll be doing that Saturday. Let's see. What else, Annie?
I don't know. We got Young Children Fairs coming up in a couple more communities at some point.
We haven't done Stuyhawk and Togiak yet.
And we're doing Dillingham Child Find today.
And we're doing for Child Find today. Yeah.
That's about it.
Mm-hmm. We have lots of other issues, but we'll just continue to work on those.
Are they issues that the ECN can support you all with? Is it still like staffing and the federal stuff, I imagine?
Yeah, and we also have a CACFP review coming up. That's got everybody kind of stressed out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've think our funding's fairly safe from the hack and slash situation, because we were able to slide our Head Start program underneath our 477 umbrella. So it's sort of
Right.
protected as a tribe. So hopefully that'll keep us out of the limelight at least long enough to escape the axe.
Yeah. Nice. Well, you have my number. And you have
I do.
everybody else contacts too.
We got your
However
number.
we can help. You know where we are.
Yep, we do.
Excellent. How about thank you for sharing. How about Girdwood?
Hi, everybody. All right, so I would love to share a picture if this will, am I allowed to do that? Okay, so should I send
Let
the
me,
request to share?
I got you. I got you,
Okay.
girl. Go ahead.
All right, okay, let's see here. All right, there is our big announcement. We received the $1 million from the private donor. I saw Izzy was on here and I was like, yeah, girl, I remember what you said. With who's missing from the conversation, you know. And so anyway, this was a really amazing event that we had. And we, in addition to this $1 million, received 47,000 more from the community, and 25,000 came from the Girdwood Rotary. So that was like a huge boost, and of course the rest of the money, all of the money, really was raised via that gratitude tree, the levels of donors. So that's been really key to our campaign, and so anyway, this event was super touching. You know, Justina spoke, and Rachel Myers, executive director of Little Bear, spoke, and I spoke, and then we pulled up John, and he made, you know, he was very, it was such a heartfelt speech, and he was really, especially after hearing our conversation or our speeches about why this is so important, by the time he got up there, it was like pretty emotional, and he was like, and then it's just been so well received by our community. It's so generous. And so anyway, that was awesome. And then he also made the announcement that we're gonna, because in this $1 million ask, we talked about naming rights to the building. And so he announced that he is interested in naming Little Bear's Playhouse at the D. Livingston building. And this is Diana Livingston here in this picture. She's in her 70s, and she's been in Girdwood since 1976, and she was the Girdwood Inc. treasurer for 20 years. And so she basically has been a volunteer in the community for decades. And so it's so sweet that he didn't want to name the building after his family, his own family that was giving the $1 million, but is rather turning around and naming it after a community member in Girdwood. So really amazing situation there. The event went awesome, and I was able to mark off a couple of my bingo cards. I got one under party. I'm planning at least 2 parties before we get to the end of this. So what you got, a 1 party checked off, and then I've got 2 goals for money. So one of my money goals is knocked off. So that's my success stories, and the challenges are the federal money, probably like many of you, other communities as well. We had a $980,000 request through Murkowski's office that is very much, we have no idea what is going on. And so the next few days will be interesting. And but we are we're going to build it no matter what. So it's coming, whether we have to get a loan for the tail end or not. And anyway, I'll pass it to Joan. Thank you.
Thanks, Crystal. As you guys know, I'm the president of Little Bear's Playhouse, and we don't have any licensed after-school care in Girdwood, and it's something we plan on doing in our new building. But something that is really cool is that we have a great community school that's associated with our school, and you know, our K-8 school. And so the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center is putting on a series of classes. It started in January, on January 20th, and so every Tuesday they have a special after-school class. And they had, on March 18th, they have terrific trees to take take a walk around Girdwood School and learn about different trees and the roles that the trees play for the Alaskan animals. They have a bear and moose safety class coming up the week after that, learning about the species of bears and how you could be safe around them, about pollinators, hummingbirds, insects, the wind, how they pollinate and help fertilize. They're going to have spring birding, birds all around us. Head out for a walk around Girdwood School in search of birds in your backyard and learn how to use provided binoculars and some simple tricks to identify birds. And owl pellet dissection. You're going to have some owl pellets, and they're going to be seeing what's undigested in those owl pellets and see what they eat. So I think that's pretty cool. And nobody's given their best spring cleaning tip yet.
Yeah.
So when you shower,
Thank you.
so when your shower head is clogged, you take a plastic bag and you put it half water and half vinegar, and then you tie it on there with a zip tie, and you leave it on for about an hour. And then after about an hour, you take it off and you use a toothbrush and you just kind of scrub it a little bit, and it runs and flows as best as it ever did, just like new.
That's a great one. I'm writing it down. Thank you for sharing that. I even forgot about that. That is such a good one. Wow, lots of wonderful things happening in Girdwood. Oh my goodness, I just got chills from that update. That's so wonderful. All the money and the celebrations and the classes. Do they come? So does the conservations come to the school?
They do,
So
and
it
it's
hosts those? Oh.
$15 per session. You sign up individually for which sessions your kid wants to do. And, too bad it's only on Tuesdays and it's only for those 8 weeks or so. But, like we're going to have after school care when we open up that new building, and it's going to be great.
For sure.
That's what we're going to need.
For sure. It's a good interim, a good fun activity for them to do in between.
Right.
How cool. Yeah. That's awesome. What a great partnership. Cool. Well, Izzy, you are next on my screen. Would you like to give the Juno update?
Sure. Yeah. Let me grab my notes and see. So lately we've been working on some fundraising efforts for our diaper bank and Imagination Library. So that's been great. We've been having like some subcommittee meetings where we're just like brainstorming on that and making some moves on that, and that's been really cool. And upcoming, we've actually got our annual conference tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be hopping off a little bit early today so that I can actually go help set up. But that's really exciting. I'm actually teaching how to build your fairy house as one of the things, because the theme's nature. So that'll be awesome. I'm pretty excited. And yeah, in April we've got the early learning fair coming up as well. So I'm just kind of getting into the swing of all the event planning because I'm new. So it's pretty exciting. Spring cleaning tip, I couldn't come up with one, but I was like ready to write them down as I heard them because I need them.
I will accept all of them, right?
Yes, I was like really fast. Like I was like, I will write that down. Thank you. So
awesome, perfect. You guys, I know, are super busy. We actually have a couple of people coming down for the conference too. One of my favorite conferences across the state is the Southeast AYC conference. It is so good. Yeah. And the fact that it's all focused on outdoor and there's a training session on how to build a fairy house. So fun. So excited.
I'm pretty excited.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Izzy. Let's see. Bobby Joe. What's happened at CCPO?
Okay. Let me take this out so I don't talk too loud. I need to be able to hear myself as well. Okay, so as I hinted at a little bit at the ECN retreat, just yesterday I was able to officially announce that we have a pot of $4 million that we're going to be awarding to the innovation grant recipients. So we will be taking applications just with their current asks of what they just need to help, that little push as we've heard challenges and things changing throughout this grant process. We really took that to heart and tried to think of ways that we could, in our third year of the PDG funding, ways we could take our funding and really make a difference. So that will be, the application process will be ending on March 28th. And yeah, that's super exciting. So, and again, the funding for that is coming from CCPO, from the PDG 5 or Birth Through 5 grant. And then we are partnering again with Thread, who will be helping distribute those funds. And it'll be monitored again by Stellar. So no major changes there. So I know everyone's been working together really well so far. So that's exciting. And then I guess I don't know, is Casey on?
Doesn't look like it today.
Okay. So then I will share this piece. So Hyper is going to be having their providers, oh shoot, where is it? Their providers meet and greet on the 29th, on March 29th in Seward, and we will have CCPO representation there. So Stacy from licensing will be there. So that's kind of exciting, reaching out to another community. And I think that's all we've got going on to share with CCPO. In terms of my my spring cleaning tip, I just found this out the other day, that you can use olive oil to polish your stainless steel appliances and make them look shiny and new. And I just think that's kind of neat. You can do it without any kind of weird chemicals. So yeah, that's it for me.
That's amazing. I'm writing that down. Stainless steel appliances. Love it. Oh, another wonderful update, because there's
Ketchup
money
works pretty good on
involved.
silver too, by the way.
What does, Annie?
Ketchup.
Oh, I think it's that tomato base. I remember my mom doing that with some pans that she had. She flipped it over and put spaghetti sauce on the bottom. But I also remember her doing it with ketchup.
It's the vinegar and the acidic tomatoes, I think both.
You mean
Yeah.
silver? You mean to polish silver, Annie? What do
Yeah.
you mean?
Yeah.
The other thing that works, like for earrings that get tarnished, is to use toothpaste works too.
It's another good one. Look at all these things we have laying around the house that we can use to
Yeah, but
spring
nobody has
cleaning.
any actual silver that needs polishing.
That's true. Oh, Heather does. Heather does.
Grandma's silver that I've shuffled from like 4 different homes and still is tarnished. Yeah, probably should bust out the ketchup on it.
I think about
Oh,
that
I
when
love
I
that.
see things at thrift stores that are pretty silver. I'm like, oh, that's so nice. I'm like, will I ever polish it? Will I ever use it? No.
All you need is to just walk a couple sections down, go grab a toothbrush, and then go to McDonald's and get a couple packages of of ketchup if you have that. That's awesome. I love that. Speaking of Heather, how about we do a Kodiak update?
Sure. So we're kind of in the middle of working on our children's fair, which is coming up in April. And so we're working with the community partners, just trying to get our tables and booths set up and organized together. I think we have 14 vendors, and it's a carnival type theme. So we are inviting the community to participate in our carnival. It's going to be indoors again this year. We have our community built a lovely space. It's called the Marketplace, and Kodiak Area Native Association was a big part of building it. And we have office spaces upstairs for CANA, but also on the other section is a great community space where we can be indoors, so our littles don't have to play outside in the mud and rain, because every children's fair, it's either snowing, raining, or windy. So it's a really great space if anybody comes to Kodiak and wants to visit our new marketplace. We do have some shops downstairs and a great meeting space upstairs. Our school district announced that they will be consolidating one of the schools. So that's been a little bit of a bummer for our town, that one of the community schools will be closing. We had 3 in town, and so they had to close one of them and incorporate those kiddos into the other 2 and shift it around. So there's going to be a big change in the school district next school year, only having 2 schools open. which will be interesting for our community that, I mean, like you don't even think about the impact, but like busing and, daycares and schools and, you make one little change. Well, it's a big change, but you make one change and man, it shifts lots of things within the community. So there'll be some restructuring next year. But we're able to have 2 schools in town, which will be, at least we're still moving forward with that. And then we have a child development center on our Coast Guard base, and they recently picked up a new member of their team to be the director. So super excited. She has lived in Kodiak previously and is back. And so she is picking up the job. So kind of feeling a little bit better about, changes out at the development center because we don't have that much. I'm preaching to the choir, but we don't have very many choices in our child care in Kodiak. So it'll be good to have a little bit stronger of a team, and they can maybe take on some more kiddos, and parents don't have to feel so stressed about where to have their kids while they're at work. So just a few things that our community is up to. I'm sure I missed a ton, but those are the few things that popped into my head.
Nice. That's awesome. Was the CDC closed for a while? As the child without a director?
It wasn't closed. They had to downsize quite a bit, and they had to ask children to disenroll. So they had to let go of some kiddos because they didn't have enough staffing. But now I've seen a few flyers come through that they're picking up more kiddos and maybe starting up their after school program possibly again. I can't quite remember what their flyer was advertising, but hopefully things are on the upswing for them because our community was hit pretty hard with like, where's my kid gonna go? And of course, it only serves the Coast Guard base, but if the Coast Guard base doesn't have enough spots, then the Coast Guard families come to town, and then the town daycares get full, and then other people in the town don't have a place for their kiddos, and it's just a lot of stress. So if both programs can be open, it will alleviate some parent stress in our community.
Good. That's awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Heather. All right, how about Tracy with Red?
Hello, everybody. How's it going? It is spring in Fairbanks. Just kidding. It's not. It was 30 degrees for like a week, and now it's super sunny and -2. So the sun makes us feel excited about the world, but it's not warm yet. But the sun feels great. So new happenings at Thread right now. We still have our Extra Tough Early Educator Symposium series happening. We are headed to Homer March 22nd. We'll be in Fairbanks April 5th and Kodiak May 17th. So if you want to pass that out to people, if you are in an area that's close to one of those areas and you want travel, remember that early educators have access to travel reimbursement through SEED. And that's super exciting. Also, we have some Thread staff that are headed to Juneau also for Izzy's event happening there. I will also echo what Rianne said. I've only gotten to go to the Juneau conference once, and it was absolutely amazing. It was several years ago, but yes, if you have an opportunity, also SEED reimbursement, travel reimbursement, those things can be submitted for that event as well. So encourage people to go if they can't get there. There's opportunities for reimbursement. And then also, yes, we're very excited about Bobby Joe's announcement. Woohoo for everybody. She might have popped off. Also, if you guys have not, or if folks around your area have not already tapped into or registered for Thread's advocacy alert, I'm gonna pop the link for registering for that in our chat. I highly encourage everybody to do that right now. Our public policy, we are headed to Juneau Oh, I think it's the first week in April. Thread is for some advocacy, and some of that is going to be around extending out or having an ongoing Roots Award opportunity for educators. So we're looking for testimonial and conversations, real life stories of how that has positively impacted providers. So if you have a connection to providers or other people in your community that can speak to that or know that it has positively impacted them, and they could talk about how that being ongoing would be a huge benefit to them as early educators, advocating for that and giving us those actual stories of what that is and how it's impacted would be super helpful. So I'm going to pop the advocacy, or I guess it's, what is it? Yeah, the advocacy alert link in the chat, but also just reach out to me if you want to just send if you just want to send people just want to say, I just want to send you a statement, you can send it to me. I can get it to Nick, our public policy person. We're just trying to collect as much of that as we can before we go to Juneau in the first part of April. So if you know of providers that have experienced that in a very positive way, that would be super, super amazing if you could share. And then also another big thing at Thread, Thread Awards, we're celebrating 10 years of the different awards, and they've added a new award this year, and I'm really sorry because I totally was told what it was and I can't remember. But if you go to our Thread website, it's across the top of the banner. So if any of that now through the end of March is nominations for the Thread Awards. So if you know of folks that you would like to nominate or speak highly of, I highly encourage that because we want to know about it. And I think that's everything. What else was I supposed to talk about? Oh, spring cleaning tip. I too, like someone else, oh, Izzy, I don't have a tip, but I take them all in. And I will just say, with the sun shining as much as it is now, the one thing that I'm recognizing that I don't do a good job in the dark winters of Fairbanks is clean my windows, because the sun is shining through them now, and I'm like, wow, yeah, that window needs to be cleaned. So cleaning windows maybe be a thing. Anybody has a good
That's
tip?
a good one.
Boy, oh boy.
Mine
But
are covered in puppy nose and
Yes.
toddler, like, all over. So I'm not the person to offer that advice.
Or
Just
my
ignore
kitchen,
it
my
and
kitchen
embrace it.
too is like the splatters of all the stuff that happens in the kitchen sink. I'm like, ooh, yeah,
Like, who has been in here? Oh, it's me.
yeah, it's just yeah, probably just
Who
me.
made this big mess?
Yeah.
Love it.
Or my 10-year.
Tracy, I just put the link to the blog post on the Thread Awards, so people can check that out.
And then I'll just put my email
Perfect.
too. If it feels less intimidating for people to just make a statement and email it to you or send it to you and you can forward it on to me, that's totally fine too.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, how about our friends in Sitka, Lisa and Tiffany?
Hey everyone. Yeah, maybe we can do this together because I know Tiffany is doing a big part with the our early childhood coalition, whose role is focused on right now of creating a career pathway to be able to increase workers and people in the early childhood care field. And Tiffany's one of the teachers. So do you want to share more about that, Tiffany?
I'm teaching over at Mount Edgecombe High School for UAA, and we're teaching some early childhood classes. So last semester we taught like intro to early childhood. This semester it is learning and play. So my kiddos are working at the elementary school, or they're not working, but they're spending an hour a week there to meet their practicum and doing observations. And so I'm able to go back and forth for feedback about what they're experiencing in the classroom. That's been really exciting. I have about 12 kids, juniors and seniors in my class, and the coalition's hoping that it can turn into like maybe even a 12 credit certificate, like CNA program that kids will come out with so that they'd be eligible to potentially work like in like in Head Start. So they'll have at least some sort of credential to make them eligible to work in childcare, which is really exciting. But yeah, so that's been really fun. And they're also doing it at Sitka High and Pacific High. So all three of our high schools here right now are offering early childhood, call it dual credit. So that's been a lot of work went into that. And I just get to teach it. So
Yeah. So other members on the Early Childhood Coalition, there's also a person from the city, from the Coast Guard, from daycare centers. And so that the city is also trying to support, well, the group is also in communicating with the city as far as trying to find a way to put line item towards childcare, since it is a big crisis in our town. So we've been talking with some of the assembly members and probably down the future plan on doing some sort of either town hall or work planning session to try to work on fixing the problem. Another update is an upcoming key coalition in or key campaign in Juneau next week is where our ILP program is going to go, and then a family in our program is going to attend and testify in front of legislators. The House subcommittee approved 5.7 million in the ILP budget to expand ILP services, as well as we were flat funded for 11 years. So there's, I think, maybe 9 different infant learning programs across the state who are going to go to this fly-in in Juneau to do a whole rally in front of the Capitol. I guess they haven't had one of these events since before 2020. So I guess it's a big deal, but this will be my first one attending.
I'm so excited that you get to go, Lisa. When I was there in February, I can't remember the woman's name now, but she went to the mental health trust to thank them for the money to be able to fly all these families and members of ILP into the state. So families who have children with differing abilities get to come and share their experiences and their stories to legislators. And then there's like a big rally or parade, and it's like this big celebration for the key campaign, and it just sounds really amazing, and lots of really great energy into that. So it'll be I feel like you're going to have a great time. It'll be a really great trip.
And
Cool.
we're bringing one of our families. Lisa's bringing one of our families with her. So
Oh, great.
yeah.
Oh, that'll be so awesome. Oh, I'm so excited for you. You'll have to share about it at the next ECN meeting, please.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do either of you have a spring cleaning tip?
Hire a maid.
Pay for a cleaner. Yes.
Yes, pay for
Not
a
a bad
cleaner.
tip. Not a bad tip.
I was thinking about the other day I got this blueberry stain on my brand new sweatshirt. It's like, oh no, this is brand new and it's a blueberry stain. But I tried the Dawn spray soap, and then I just rubbed it in there, and then it came out. And so I was pretty pleased about
I'm
that.
writing that down. Perfect. Stain, rub it out, and then wash it. Perfect. That's a good one. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful update from Sitka. Let's see. Becky. Hi. Becky and Ricky from Petersburg.
Hello, it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's so good to see you.
I really don't, we don't have as much exciting news as all of you have for updating. Our childhood task force has come back together. We renamed ourselves the Petersburg Borough Child Care Alliance, because task force typically has something they focus on and disband, and we did not want that to happen.
So we got together after the new year. We've established some goals that we want to do. We did some governing body type of work, and we're going to be presenting to the borough next month on the changes and basically saying we are still moving forward, but not as a task force. You can't stop us type of thing. And politely, obviously, in going to the borough and looking at some different things that we can do, came up with a mission statement. I know our school is working on the early childhood fair for next month as well. My focus has been in more of the secondary, so not quite early childhood, but something that was a positive this last few months is that we were able to do teen mental health at our school with all of our 10th and 12th graders. I feel like that was a big accomplishment. So Ricky, do you have anything else you want to update on?
No, I think that sounds pretty good. And I think it's all very positive, Becky. It's slow, but it's
Yeah, that's all
moving.
great. Yeah. I love that the name change in itself changes the force and the presence of you all in Petersburg. Like we're not a task force, so we're not like ending, but like we are here and you're not going to stop us and we're present. So good job changing the name and kind of with that energy of we're not going anywhere. We got stuff to do. And the ECN's here to support you. However we can do that. Do either of you have a spring cleaning tip?
My spring cleaning tip is not to be in your house and spend it up at the ball fields coaching and running little leagues so you don't have to clean at home.
Nice, nice.
Make
Me
a
too.
mess outside, right?
We're
That's a
getting a
good one.
third dog at our house, so it's gonna be to put on a blindfold to the dog hair. So same, Becky. I'm with you.
I love that. Get a good lint roller, right? That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Let's see. Veronica from Nome. Hi, Veronica.
Hello, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah, so we are, well, right now we're like enthralled with all the Iditarod stuff. So there's
Yes.
lots going on. And I think we're doing a really good job as a community to sort of be inclusive towards families and children, in particular the library and our Boys and Girls Club. And we are also kind of preparing for next month's child abuse prevention. We typically do what they refer to as a amazing race, and children go from go to different businesses throughout the community, and usually there's some sort of game or resources given to the families. Um, and then there is child find happening also next Wednesday, and it, the past couple of years have been a little bit slow, so I'm hoping that we have a good turnout this year. And then it's not a new organization, but I think it's gaining more momentum. Is a winter sport outdoor organization that's has collected money and is now pretty much given or has accessible ice skates and skis for all the little kiddos in the community, which is really great. And then they do certain open times. So yeah, lots of just really fun, community involvement. I think what I've just noticed, and I think that what has been really helpful is having activities for the whole family. And then I feel like that uh, just kind of brings more people together. And then we also have our regular Kinder Gym days, which I know are big as well. Um, give me just a second. Um, sorry, someone just walked into my office. But
Okay.
no, and then as far as the tips, let's see. Well, one, I think just opening the windows. I don't know about you guys, but our windows are frozen uh through the winter. So being able to open them is always just kind of a nice to get fresh air in. Um, and just a random, I don't know if everyone knows, but hydrogen peroxide is really great at removing blood from anywhere. It just you kind of just put the hydrogen peroxide on the blood spot and it'll bubble up, and then you kind of dab and it'll eventually take it out.
Nice.
And also, I love the Dyson air purifier. I bought one and it's done wonders in my house as far as like dust and all of that. And now I just bought another one for our upstairs because I love it. So, you know.
That's a good one. I actually just recently saw a video where they put like there's a Dyson air purifier and they release this like the powder from the color runs where it's like a
Oh,
colorful powder, and they turned it on inside this room and it just sucked everything up within like 30 seconds. It was pretty incredible. I was
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's made a
sold.
huge difference as far as like dust collecting, because I don't like to dust.
I love it.
But yeah. Oh, and then sorry, one more thing.
Perfect. Yes.
I recently discovered my oven, my self cleaning oven button that I've never used, and it takes a really long time and it makes your house smell funny, but it looked new.
I'm always afraid that I'm actually going to hit that button instead of the bake button, but I never hit the button to actually do the cleaning. So
Yeah.
maybe one day I will on
Yeah,
purpose.
I've never used it, and I finally used it once, and I was like, wow, why have I never used this?
Like, so that's what it does.
Right.
That's awesome. Well, thank you
Uh,
so much for sharing, Veronica.
yeah.
All right, Bailey, how about you? How's everything in Kotzebue?
It's good. It's finally sunny and we have a good amount of snow. But a celebration from last month and this month is we have a community child care working group with a bunch of different entities in town. I think I've talked about it before, but it is moving along much better than I think we all expected, and we have a possible manager, and we're looking at places to start up, which is great. Exciting, finally. Challenges. We are moving location, so the facility was at my house, but the plan was just for 2 years. And I think my partner is pretty excited about that, to have our house back. But it is pretty challenging to move. We have to get a whole new license, so we have to submit all the paperwork again. And Tracy, my mom, asked, she was like, don't you have this paperwork from last time? She's like, yeah, I'm looking at it right now, but you still need to send it again. I'm like, okay, so we're working on that. Upcoming events, we won the Alaska Children's Trust Award, so we'll be going to Anchorage for that, and then we'll be planning a big community thing here, and they'll come up, which is exciting. And best spring cleaning tip, mine is to clean as much as I can at 10 p.m. so I don't have to wake up and clean anything ever. My mom's is probably just be outside and ignore your house. But they both seem to work.
I love that. Can you tell more about the ACT award?
Yeah, I'm not sure much about it. I just know that we won, which is exciting.
Like, is it like a program of the year or like?
I am not too sure.
Okay, no, that's really wonderful. I'm just excited. I wanted to celebrate you all more.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish
That's
I had more
very
information.
exciting. That's really cool. Do you know when you're coming to Anchorage?
I believe it's the end of April, and then
Okay.
They'll come up in May.
Very exciting. Well, congratulations. That's
Thank you.
amazing. So deserving. Thank you for sharing, Bailey.
Mhm.
All right, Melanie from Seward.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Hello, we're doing great.
Good. Yeah, I'm in my car. I was doing a plan chat group, cleaning up right before, so popped on kind of late. But yeah, I love hearing all your tips. Things are going great here. I am a bit of a pack rat, so I think my only tip is to go through stuff. I don't know if I can do like the what do you call that? Marie Kondo or whatever. Like,
Oh, yes.
does it give you joy? My problem is I think everything gives me joy and it's really hard to get rid of stuff. But yeah, I do occasionally like sort through kids' clothes. I feel like that's the easiest thing. It doesn't fit the kids, get rid of it. I have a dog who chews on everything. He's I don't know if I'd share this. I think I might have. He's husky and Great Pyrenees, and he loves to chew on things. So I've discovered that him chewing on like my daughter's old homework or whatever things are that the kids leave on the floor, it makes it really easy to throw it away because it's chewed up.
Yeah.
So, get a dog that eats things, and then it's really easy to throw them away.
That's awesome.
Politics. I might have to try the Dawn trick on stains. That's a really good one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
How's everything in Stewart going? Have you guys been busy?
Good. Yeah. So I actually went to Juneau for the state prevention summit last week. That went great. It's really good to see everybody. A lot of good, panels and information. I got to meet with one of our state representatives. My coworker Susie Towsley is amazing at setting up appointments. She met with like 4 different representatives for her program, the domestic violence sexual assault program. So she does like the, hands-on immediate crisis response, providing housing and all of that. So I went with her to one of them with Representative Ellum. That went great. He was really friendly, very engaged with us. And then positively, he said he doesn't tend to cut funding for programs like ours. So hopefully he'll follow through with that. But yeah, that was good. And I had moms cover for me while I was gone. They're really engaged, which is nice. And they know how to do everything, like pull out the toys, set up snacks, clean up. The one advice I give them, we have a rice tray, and I'm like, don't pull out the rice tray because it gets rice everywhere.
Like, save yourself the cleaning.
Save
Don't
yourself.
do it.
Love it. It's like, it's like a sand tray with all the little sand toys, but it goes everywhere. But yeah, things are great. I have a baby shower coming up on the 22nd. I think I'm like, is this our 13th or 14th? I've been doing them for 3 years, every quarterly. We always have a great turnout. So I'm, kind of in gear up mode, like, okay, do I have enough gift bags? What do I need to get for that? We might do potluck style again. Other years, mostly I tend to buy trays at Safeway. They're pretty inexpensive, like fruit trays, sandwiches. I don't ever RSVP. I just say to come. That only failed me one time. There's one time we actually finished the sandwich tray because there was well there. But so we might do part potluck. But anyway, those are really fun. It's just great to get people together. I had the first mom's night out about the week before about a week and a half ago. A local cafe owned by one of the moms that used to come to my groups when she was less busy. But called the Rowdy Radish. Wonderful. If you ever come to Seward, great food. Everything's homemade. It's so good. So we had a really fun mom's night out in the evening. It was no kids. And I think we had around 15 people come. It was really fun. And I didn't provide childcare. I think next time I might try to figure it out or do like a mom's and dad's date night. There was a dad that showed up and I was like, that's fine. Come on in. Because they didn't know. Actually, and then an uncle showed up with a kiddo too. And I was like, that's fine. Got some charcuterie. But that was really fun. So that was something new. I haven't done that before. But yeah, things are great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I also love that they felt confident. The dad and the uncle also felt confident coming to the event too, right? Like,
yeah,
that's so great that you created that much of it. I know it's typically moms, but that they felt like that, engaged and encouraged and safe to also participate.
Yeah, I actually have I have dad. I know the dad. I've known this family for a couple of years. They homeschool, and I always welcome. And so I typically, today there was a dad at Plan Chat, and the coffee groups. There's usually a couple that come. The most I've ever had. One time I had a coffee group on a Saturday. I had 6 dads show up, along with 10 or 12 moms, or I don't know. I usually have, but yeah, they're always welcome. So sure. And I'm delivering some bags today. I kind of got behind on that, so I've been trying to catch up on that before I get more names from the next baby shower.
Oh, that's very exciting. Awesome. Well, I know Lisa had just put in the chat to talk to Colleen about baby showers, but I'm sure since you've done 13 or 14 of them, you would be another great person to share your expertise with community baby showers, which would be awesome. Well, good. I'm glad everything is going well down in Seward. And Bobby Joe did share earlier about the event happening with the CCPO and the provider meet and greet that's happening on the 29th of down in Seward. I think Help Me Grow is going to come down too. Casey was talking to come down and hang out with you guys too. So it'll be a fun time with down in Seward.
That sounds great. Yeah, I would love
Great.
you guys and anyone who wants to visit for sure.
Oh yeah, I know, right? One day we'll all have retreats, meetings. We're gonna go to all your towns. My goal. Get us all to each other's neighborhoods. Wouldn't that be fun? We all put on these fun activities for these communities led by us. It would be the dream team. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but it would be. Could you imagine a family event that we put together in Sitka with all of us there? It would be immaculate. Just saying. It would be so fun. All right. I think, did I miss anybody? I think that was everybody for updates. Thank you all for sharing. We've got our next partnership meeting for A2P2 will be in Fairbanks. So see Tracy and Kelly, who's not here today, but we're there during the first Friday of April. So it'll be during Go Blue Day. Although Fairbanks is having all their Go Blue Day, the next events the next week. But I know that a lot of communities are doing stuff for Go Blue Day and Go Blue Month, the Child Abuse Prevention Month. But switching gears a little bit, we wanted to talk a little bit about our retreat. And just like how wonderful it is. We've got about a half hour just to chat. And so I put together, let's see, I sent out the notes and the drawings, right? Did you guys, the drawings from our World Cafe, did I send those out? No? Okay, well, I'm going to send them out after this. It's been a lot, right? From our retreat until now, it was wild. Did anybody get sick after the retreat by chance? Anybody catch a cold or feel ill after? I'm so glad because my family got horrifically sick. And I was like, oh no, I hope whatever I have didn't spread around and get to everybody else. So I feel relieved that nobody else felt sick. But let me get myself together here and share really quick. Alrighty. So just a little recap, because I know we had a few of you weren't able to make it to the retreat. So I wanted to provide a time for us to just reflect with each other. For those who went, but then also just share some of, for those who went, and then for those who weren't there to like include you in some of our experiences that we had. So we had it, February 13th and 14th here in Anchorage. This was our list. We had about 20 some people who were able to make it in, which was wonderful, including our facilitators who were Sophia and Iris from the Stellar Group. And we did some spotlight presentations, which were wonderful. So Nikki from AYC Southeast shared about the work being done at the AUIC Southeast to provide support for early childhood education, provide parent and family resources, and advocate for policies that support early childhood education at the local, regional, and state levels. They also shared their plans for their new building, which is incredible. I had actually met with her the week before, and I was in Juneau. I was like, you need to come because you need to talk to Crystal and Joan. You need to be here in person. And she's like, okay, I'll buy a plane ticket. So after our meeting on that Thursday, she's like, I bought my tickets, I'm coming. I was like, yes. So she came in, and I think that was such a powerful connection, networking opportunity, not only for her to, be with other people who are in the same boat of working and starting childcare and big building of businesses, but also just to have everybody be together in the room to grow and learn with. Casey from Hyper shared about some of the wonderful things happening down in Seward how they're trying to increase the number of quality licensed childcare programs in the Seward area by providing a combination of initiatives like grant programs, retainment incentives, family stipends, and professional development tuition support. There's also a tie-in that they're using with rural cap for some housing, which is also really amazing because although we want people to come to our community, there's still the basic needs that they have to be met as well, like housing. Crystal from Girdwood Inc. shared her wonderful presentation about Little Bears Playhouse and all the great things that are happening, all the celebrations that are happening from the start to where you're at today. It was a wonderful presentation. Also gave us a great tip about magnesium spray and brought us all magnesium sprays to take home with us, which was such a wonderful gift. And I use it. I'm so on board with this magnesium spray. For all of you who aren't there, magnesium spray is supposed to help you sleep better. And I shouldn't say supposed to, it does help you sleep better. So she got some of the little like magnesium bag and she put it in the spray bottle and you put water with it and you just spray it on your legs or your feet before you go to bed and it helps you sleep well at night. And she brought some for all of us. It was such a wonderful share. And then Annie Shade from BB&A Head Start taught us all about Head Start in general, which was very helpful, but then all the amazing programs that fall under her leadership in BB&A, but then also her team and the way that they are supporting children, youth, and families in their community, as well as different job opportunities that are happening within their region. And the fact that they are part of the 477 program, which is new and nobody else is doing it. So they are the starters of something brand new, and we all get to learn from Annie and this group. So it's very special. I'm really proud of you guys and excited to be your cheerleader through this. So thank you for sharing. Thank you all for all those wonderful spotlight presentations. Yeah, we did this wonderful collaboration cafe. Also, they're also called community cafes if you've ever done them before. And so we were posed a couple questions and we had somebody come in who did artistry. He drew while we shared our thoughts, which was really amazing. So the first question that we discussed was, how do you define collaboration and partnerships and what are the essential elements for you? So this is what he came up with as his drawing from what we were talking about. So an effective collaboration and partnership, build relationships, it can be like having a book club, as simple as having a book club. Two-way communication, shared goals, bring food, roles and responsibility, making sure it's a space for all. So members shared the importance of healthy generative relationships as the critical element for effective collaboration and partnerships. We highlighted the aspects like authenticity, respect, and trust in relationships as key features. And we also shared the importance of understanding that it takes time to develop these types of relationships and shared strategies, like working over a shared meal to build them. We also shared the importance of being on the same page and having clear goals that we're working towards together. So I love all these different visuals that he came up with from our ideas together. The second question was, who is missing from your early childhood conversations and why? What non-traditional partners have a stake in this work, and how might we build connections between sectors that don't traditionally collaborate? This is a great one, especially as Crystal and Joan shared, and I know this was a conversation at your table. We all talked about like, who's missing from our conversation? Like the people with big pocketbooks, right? How do we get them to be with us? How do we make the big asks? So some of the things that we talked about are like legislators, healthcare workers, OCS, private businesses, parents and families, law enforcement, federal agencies, philanthropists, housing authorities, and men in general are missing from these types of conversations. It's typically, I mean, even us here as the ECN, typically a lot of women who are doing this really hard work and creating these conversations and creating these big asks while still caring for children, youth, and families as well. So the consensus for involving these groups was to engage in targeted outreach and inviting them to participate. One strategy share was to invite a group organization or department to present at a local coalition about how their work was related to early childhood. I think, Heather, that was what you and I were talking about, especially with like the medical community in or around you. Like, how do we get them to come with us, come and partner with us? Maybe we can ask them to come and lead a presentation at our meeting and then be like, great, now you're here. How can we partner together better? And I think we actually did that, Bailey, up in Kotzebue. You all did that during, well, your mom really had spearheaded that conversation actually during a partnership meeting to get the developmental screenings back into ILP. Like, it was just falling off and kids weren't being seen. And she's like, great, now you all are here. Send them to me. And like the one of the lead doctors is like, yeah, send them to her. And the gap was closed. So I feel like that is a really great example of how getting the people, the right people in the right space to onboard them and get partner with them is important. Yeah. So then our last question is, what is one simple change that we can make today, individually or collectively, to invite more voices into our work? How can we support each other in turning these insights into action? So we shared that making a habit to invite underrepresented potential partners was a thing that they could do immediately to bring these voices into early childhood conversations to support each other in the work. They suggested developing scripts and a toolkit for conversations with specific audiences like elected officials. So if we had like, and we talked about this with the Mr. Business activity, like if we had our elevator pitch, or if we had, hey, I'm about to speak to a representative, here's the blurb I'm going to use, we can share all that with one another so that it's that unified voice piece. I don't know the words to say. Somebody else can help me be confident to use these different words to say it. And we also suggested coming to other ECN members with their questions about how to contact and connect with new partners to build off the success of others. So although I'm sure, Crystal, we'd all love to meet with Mr. How do you say his last name? Bryan, the Bryan family, is that right?
The Byrne family. Yeah.
The Byrne family?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not all going to hit him up, but if we all knew people like that who were like Bobby Joe, hey, we've got $4 million. This is a great opportunity for us all to apply to be able to use some funds. I think, again, like using the Padlet to share some of those grant opportunities. I know even while we were sitting there, I was looking at the sticky notes. I've got them all here from our AHA jars. There's a couple of grant opportunities that were written in here for people to apply for that I'll put on the Padlet. So we're like there, we're doing it. We just need to do it more now that we hear more often, right? So this was such a cool, sorry, Shannon, she's gonna come and let her in the, there's so many cool visuals that were created on the conversations that we had over the World Cafe. It was so cool. Sophia made some really great notes. Those were what I was reading, and I'll send those out to everybody along with the visuals after the meeting today, and we'll put them up on the Padlet. So then we also did an activity where we had to, because one of the things we struggled with is like, how do we describe the ECN? If somebody who had no clue what the ECN was, had never heard of it, how would we describe the ECN to them, right? So we did an activity with our tables, like how would you describe the ECN in like 30 seconds or in 3 sentences, which was a really cool activity. And so what came out of it were these main thoughts and ideas: quality, there were industry leaders, provide support, collaborative, early childhood education, that were all around the state, like inclusive, we're including all these different communities, and we would love to bring in more people from other communities. And I would say also, like, from those communities who don't have 2 representatives, like bringing in a second person and being inclusive of like the tribes, the medical field, like the different people that we said that that we would want to be part of our conversations, like bringing them in as well. Increase access to quality childcare and early childhood services. We talked about care, and then development in general of the ECN. So it was a really great activity. I have all the big poster boards or the sticky notes that we were writing on, so I'll combine all of those things together and post them on the Padlet so that those who weren't there, and even those who were, if you've forgotten what exactly your pitch was, will be able to have that written out for us here shortly. And then who was Mr. Business? This was a really fun activity. Sophia is so creative. She's with the Stellar Group, and she came up with this great activity and had all these people from various spaces. So we had like a woman who was moving to Alaska to start a water bottle company. And so like, how would we pitch to her why ECN is important or early childhood is important, right? So like essentially like the message, like these are it's a 3-question framework for determining how to tailor the communication about the ECN or about local coalitions, like what you're doing. And so she created this, which I thought was very helpful, even though it was like silly, like these people are really like out there. It was in terms of perspective, like, okay, if I'm about to talk to a doctor who does orthopedic surgeries but doesn't do pediatricians, how can I phrase the ECN to talk to them so that they're bought into it, right? And so these were really cool, these questions, and it's helped me even in my, like that activity I think was helpful even in my daily work. So it was a really good activity and helpful in general, I think, for deciding like what the ECN, how we can describe the ECN to others. And then we did goal setting bingo. So Crystal held up her bingo card. Bailey, I don't know if you saw your mom's, but we did a bit of scrapbooking, if you will, or what is it? Collaging. And we took magazines and cut out ideas and pictures of things that were set to our goals for not only for bingo or not only for ECN, but then our professional goals as well for the year. And so we wanted to think about things that were important to us that we wanted to have happen. And we said, like, if you cross out a bingo, make sure you share it at an ECN meeting, as Crystal was able to cross off a couple. Like, what a celebration. And so we have those that we'll send out to those that didn't participate. I have a couple other things. We got some pins and some cool things to like send out your way. But we'll send out like the little, oops, I'm blurred, the activity for the bingo so that you all can do it on your own time. I can't send out my magazine stash, so I'm holding on to it because Mariah's mother-in-law had the best collection of magazines. People don't usually get magazines, but she came in clutch and brought so many magazines for this activity. And they were like the good ones, right? Like the ones you actually want to read while you're cutting. So it was fun. But we covered 5 topic areas in general during that goal setting. So we worked together, or we worked individually on setting some goals, and then we talked about some things that we wanted to focus on as a group. So communication, what communication goals should the ECN consider in 2025? And I have all the things written. I'm not going to read them all today, but a couple of them were like increase our Padlet use. I did a short presentation on how to use the Padlet, which was pretty funny because I was like, yeah, I wondered why nobody did anything on my holiday Padlet. And everyone's like, what holiday Padlet? I was like, what do you mean? What holiday Padlet? And they're like, we can't access it. So we had a Padlet session, and so everybody could see how to use it, which I was very relieved for because I thought everybody just didn't like my Padlet. It was just that nobody could actually see it. It was pretty funny. So we're going to increase the use of that and just accessibility of it and making sure we have more information on there for everybody to tune into. Connecting with one another, using each other as that network and asking more questions of one another. And then working on developing a toolkit or a slide deck for how to speak to local and state elected officials and other government representatives. So I think that was a big thing that we wanted to do was how do we do it? Where do we even start? And that's something that we can work on together as we each do that. This is the time to go to Juneau and people have their different experiences. So it'll be cool to see how people communicate with them. And then impact, what kind of impact are members looking to make through the ECN? And we talked about stronger early childhood systems at the community level, the creation of a dedicated pool for money to the childcare sector in Alaska. And like every community knows the importance of early childhood education and care. Somebody had written on one of the aha jars. For those who weren't there, we had little glass jars in the middle of the table where you could write down like your aha moment. And somebody had written that early childhood, Alaska's children will be as important as the oil and gases. Oh, here. Children will be as valued to oil and gas industry in Alaska. So good. That is such a good goal. And I feel like the passion and the connections that we have here in the ECN that we continue to share elsewhere, like this is like what we can make a goal in the future, right? That we can continue advocating for, which I love. Inclusion and expansion, how and where do the ECN want to grow and expand? So we talked about how do we want to grow the ECN? Right now we have 20 communities, and we do want to bring in more, especially with how we work across the state together. We know a lot of different people and engage with a lot of different in the different ways. And so being able to connect with others to bring them in to the ECN. So we talked about get more geographic representation, member coalitions, increase representation for medical providers, rural communities, in-home providers, tribes, and men of the ECN. And then ensure that all local coalitions send at least 2 members of the ECN to do more sharing about what the ECN is doing in the local community. So if all works out, we'll have like 2 meetings, right? It's all community updates. And then the next one is like the business meeting because we're going to be so full. It's going to be great. And then community connection. How can the ECN build or strengthen community and connectivity? And I think that really comes to, sorry, I opened up the chat. Passing on knowledge, projects that co-locate childcare with elder care, which is really cool. I can't remember who was talking about that. Oh, I think it was Veronica, was that you who was talking? Or who was talking about that?
It was sorry, Emily mentioned it, but I think Veronica did as well.
Okay. Yeah. And just talking about how the importance of like having children engage with elders or like at like nursing homes, like not necessarily like dumping the kids at the nursing home and say good luck, but like having a field trip where the kids engaging in activities like during activity time at a senior center of any way, just to like have that cross-generational engagement. And having they're all community members, and so having them all engage with one another was kind of fun. And then joy. What joyful ECN experiences are members looking forward to? And someone said community visits. Ditto, I agree with that. One-on-one time with each member, celebrating successes together, listening to the retreat playlist, which I haven't made yet. I promise I will. Opening new programs that set across the state, finding joy in celebrating what we do best without trying to adhere to school district requirements, and then seeing the ECN continue to grow each year. So this was a really fun activity. It was one of our last ones that we did together just to like celebrate and move forward. And then just some reflections. We've got just a couple minutes left, but there's like 3 kind of reflective questions that I wanted to ask. Like, what is the takeaway from the retreat that you want all ECN members to know? So if you went to the retreat, what is something that you want to share with somebody who wasn't there? What is an activity that was impactful to you in your work, in your organization, coalition, or community, or role in the ECN? So is there something that happened at the retreat that you're like, this was so beneficial to me right now in my work, and I appreciate, like, this is just helpful? Or like, what now? Where do you want to go after the retreat? So does anybody have any initial thoughts to share?
I'll jump in. I loved the retreat, and I have been on with ECN for a couple years, but this was my first retreat that I was able to attend, and it was so fun seeing people in person. I think it really spoke to like having connections like in person and how important that is. Cause I was like, oh, the next time I see these people on Zoom, it's going to be so much better. And it is, it's like way more, connective, I guess. And I really loved the bingo situation because I love vision board stuff, but also like once you have a vision board, yeah, you look at it, but also like I love the process of like marking them off, like, okay, I got that one, okay, I got that one, and having like an end goal there. So I just really enjoyed it. And I also was, when we did our fundraiser reception, I spoke and I used that this work is not just for us, and gave the example of our building committee. And everybody on there is not going to benefit from the building because their kids have already phased out of it, except our executive director is going to have a little one, so, but basically every volunteer that has volunteered many years to get to where we are is not going to benefit from it, but it'll be our community that benefits from it. So I really love that statement, and I'll be using it again. Thanks.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing, Crystal. That is such a good one. That Amy Collins shared that. She's like, this work is not just for us. And I feel like it really just like hit it right on the head. Like everything that we do in early childhood, everything that we do in our communities is just not for like us at all. It's for the greater good. Yeah.
Brianne, I appreciated that you explained about Padlet to us because, like if you don't have somebody personally telling you about it, and you just say, well, we've got it, like who knows what to do? Like who knows where to go and what to do with Padlet? So thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. I'm so glad you appreciated that, Joan. And we're gonna make it even more fun. I'll make a spring one, a spring fun one for everybody to add into. Any other thoughts?
Hey,
I'm gonna put
just
this
wanted-
on. Oh, go ahead, Melanie.
I was just gonna say I love the retreat so much, and I think even just going to different conferences, I really liked how interactive it was. I also second, it's just great to see all of you in person and get to talk to you, get to know you, share about our programs. I think it does enrich our time together on Zoom. But I just loved all the circle activities. Was it Sophia that did that? Yeah, those were super fun. I felt like it was so engaging, which I really appreciate. I am very distractible. But somewhere along the way, I'd heard too that people remember what they say themselves. And so there's something about when you have a group, like, it's like the breakout times or like the goal setting was awesome because I tend to shy away from goals. Like I still, accomplish things, but to actually like be forced to think about it, I think that's so useful because often I think when we go to a conference and people are just like sharing information at us, we don't really necessarily take all of that away. We might get some good things out of it, but I know that it's just like when we're writing or we're processing together, those are the things that we really do remember later. And so I appreciate it. It was a wonderful retreat.
Yeah, good. That's so good. Well, we missed all of you who were not able to come. We thought of you often throughout the whole retreat. We often brought up names and just communities in general. So although you may not have been there physically, you were there in spirit, and we didn't leave you all out of our processing. So for all of you who were able to make it, thank you so much for being there. It was just such an incredible experience to get to all know you all well and just be in person and go through easy stuff together, go through hard stuff together. I think that there's a lot of things that we can still work on. I know that there's still, we had the conversation about the early childhood partnership, and there's more opportunities to grow with that and like learn around the governance pieces. And so as we learn more about that, we can see how the ECN wants to engage in that, right? Like, I think that as a new group, we can, as the ECP is, the Early Childhood Partnership, we can see how we would like to use that, or if we have other avenues that we can use. So I think that there's lots of ways that we can navigate changes together. And even through harder things, I was grateful to have those conversations with you all. So, yeah, I felt so grateful for it all. But as for today, thank you all for being here today, sharing your community updates. Our next meeting is April 11th. I'll be in hopefully sunny Arizona having a fun family trip. I'm going down with my younger sister and her son and husband so that our kids can just have cousin playtime. We got an Airbnb with a pool and have no other agenda other than letting the cousins play together. So I'm very much looking forward to it. So Shannon will be in charge of the next meeting. But
Hey,
we'll have
Rianne,
everything.
I've got us down on the 10th. Are you sure it's the 11th?
Oh, nope, I'm not sure. You're probably right.
The 10th
You're
is
right.
a
It's the
Thursday.
10th.
So, okay.
Yes,
Making
you're right.
sure.
It is the 10th. Sorry about that, Annie. It is the 10th, not the 11th. Thank you so much. Yeah, the 10th. So, but I'll send out all the everything ahead of time, and we'll have a good meeting then. Please let us know. Me and Shannon know. However, we can support you all. You have our contact information. We're here to help. Okay, everyone, take
I
care. Stay
apologize,
healthy.
you guys. I'm just not feeling well right now, so I'll be better by the next meeting. Thanks,
I'll hold you
everyone.
to that, Parker.
Thank you.
Have a
All
good
right,
time
take
off
care.
there, Rianne. Have fun with the kids. That'll be great.
Hey, I'll see you. I'll see you next week, ma'am.
Yes, I will see you next week.
All right, take care, everyone. We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.